Next up, I proudly introduce to you Emmy Norman's Teacher of the Year and Month, Miss Emily Boudreau. Tonight, she is accompanied by her parents, her husband, and her brother. Give us a wave. Miss Emily Boudreau has 4 years of teaching experience. She's earned a bachelor's degree in birth to 5 early intervention from Nicholls State University in 2022. Ms. Boudreau is committed to her continual growth as a role as an educator and actively participates in professional development opportunities to further enhance her instructional effectiveness. Ms. Boudreau shares that the most rewarding aspect of teaching is witnessing her students' academic and emotional growth. As the confidence they develop throughout the year, she values building strong, meaningful relationships with her students and takes pride in helping them recognize their individual strength. She especially enjoys those aha moments when the light bulb goes off and the students grasp concepts they previously were challenging. Outside of the classroom, she enjoys gardening, boating, and spending quality time with her friends, family, and her husband. Through her teaching experience, Ms. Boudreau has learned the importance of patience, empathy, and to adapt. She understands that every student learns differently and believes meaningful progress occurs when students feel supported, valued, and understood. Her partner teacher, Ms. Dahlberg, states, "This recognition is so well deserved. Ms. Boudreau's dedication to her students, her passion for teaching, and her commitment to excellence inspires everyone around her." Ms. Dahlberg explains how grateful she is to work alongside someone who truly makes a difference every single day. Ms. Jeremy, who is also a partner teacher and present with us today, states as a fellow first grade teacher, she's had the privilege of seeing firsthand Ms. Boudreau's dedication and professionalism. Teaching in a room full of 6 and 7-year-olds, Ms. Jeremy explains that's some kind of special hero. And Ms. Boudreau definitely has what it takes. In a year marked with new beginnings, she has remained devoted to her students. When most people would have slowed down, Ms. Boudreau planned a wedding, got married, taught a full of classroom of first graders, and still earned Teacher of the Year, making this recognition exceptionally meaningful. I present to you Miss Emily Boudreau. You'll go see Dr. Sanders.
All right, next up is our St. Mary Parish Alternative Program.
Good evening, Dr. Sanders, ladies and gentlemen of the board. It's my honor to stand before you this evening to present the St. Mary Parish Alternative Programs Employee of the Month, Ms. LaToya Sam. Ms. Sam is our head custodian, and she's joined tonight in celebration by her mother, Ms. Sheila Sam, and her daughter, Alea Bourgeois, as well as her family from the Alternative Program. We are extremely blessed to have Ms. Sam as part of our little family down the road. If you want to see a living, breathing, walking, talking, ideal picture of what it means to be a team player, look at Ms. Sam. In her role as head custodian at the Alternative Program, Ms. Sam is responsible for the daily upkeep of our entire facility. She makes sure that everything required of her is done and that it's done well. If you didn't know the actual age of our campus, you'd have a hard time figuring it out because of the way Ms. Sam takes care of everything. If we need an extra set of eyes for lunch duty, call Ms. Sam. If a teacher needs a quick restroom break, call Ms. Sam. If a teacher or a student makes a mess, Call Miss Sam. Um, if I'm tied up and it's time to dismiss the students for the day, call Miss Sam. Honestly, you don't even have to call Miss Sam. She's so in tune with the way the school runs. Seriously, she's so in tune with the way the school works that she takes care of these things before we even know we need the help. You can't find that very availably, if that's even a word. Um, these days, it's hard. So we definitely appreciate it. Miss Sam's more than custodian or an extra set of eyes and hands. It's the things that she does that we don't even realize she's doing or has done. It's the things she does that she may not even realize the significance of or how much it means to some or all of us. From her sometimes random words of inspiration in our group texts or in passing, to her sly sense of humor. If you're not paying attention, you're going to miss the joke, but they there. They there. Um, it's all those little things that really makes our day a little bit brighter every day. You'll never see Miss Sam not in a good mood. Even if she's having a bad day, she still somehow manages to make us smile and get all her work done without complaint. Did I mention she's the only custodian we have on our campus? The only one. Does everything. Ms. Sam, we love you. We appreciate and respect everything you do for us and our students. Thank you for being St. Mary Strong and an asset to the alternative program and the district.
All right. And our last school is Berwick Elementary.
Hi, I'm Miss Pie. I was not expecting to be the one to do this today, which is why I'm in jeans. Sorry. But I am very honored to be the one to recognize these two individuals. So we have Mr. Bo Parody, who is our student
Hang
of
on
the
just
month.
1 second while we
Sure.
get some in and close that door.
Okay.
That way we can hear everything.
I can use my teacher voice if I have to. Bo is accompanied by his mom, Sandy, and his dad, who is a school board member, Mr. Chad, and his brothers, Carson and Andy. At school, Bo is a member of Beta, and outside of school, he is on the Louisiana Elite Baseball team. He is Beta's secretary, and he was nominated to attend the National Leadership Forum Pathways to STEM. In his spare time, he likes to play Xbox and baseball, of course, and he likes to spend time with his family. He likes baseball so much he would like to do that when he grows up, but he has a backup plan. He wants to be a coach. If he can't play baseball, he wants to coach baseball. Yes. He's been student of the month, terrific kid, greatest effort, principals list throughout elementary. He earned the reward, the top golf reward for being 20 in the top 20% of his class on LEAP last year, and the VGT for meeting his goals on LEAP, the video game truck. We have a video game truck that comes. He won that award, earned that award too. Some of his classmates and friends said that he's an all-around good kid. He pays attention and he's kind. He's really nice. He helps his friends. He never brags about games or skills. He's just a good person. He pays attention in class, makes sure everything is equal, like if they're playing games at recess, and he makes sure all the kids get to play if they want. And that is amazing. Miss Domain wants to recognize him for being a goal setter and a goal getter. He wants to do the best that he can. He wants to be the best. He's realistic, though, in the way he sees things. He's inclusive. He will never shun someone or make someone feel like an outcast. He is Parity number 2 for Student of the Month, Mr. Bo Parity. And our Employee of the Month is Miss Angie Hannegriff, who is accompanied by her husband, David, and her son, Porter. Her sons, Jackson and Pierce, are not with us tonight. She's taught in St. Mary Parish for 23 years, and she's been at Berwick Elementary for 11. She says that she became a teacher to help kids realize their potential and to teach them the skills they need to be successful in life. Her favorite things to do are hang out with her family, go to New Orleans, that's where your sons are, yeah, and clean. I know. Yeah, they're out there, right? We need people like that. Her co-teachers say that she is reliable, caring, trustworthy, selfless, and one of the best co-workers and friends ever. They also say that she jumps into helping without being asked. She's dependable. She's a team mom, and she keeps everyone organized. Miss Domain noted that she's very conscientious in everything she does: deadlines, planning, grading, reteaching. Her mama heart shone through every day in the classroom. She was the definition of a model employee. She's very kind, and she's just solid and steady, and we are going to miss her a lot. We kind of tried to talk her into staying, but couldn't be done because her key word is retiring. She's retiring. She's leaving us, and yeah, we don't really know how we're gonna fill her shoes, but we're happy for her. So, Miss Angie Hannegriff.
All right, next under appearances is our LSU Gear Up presentation of partnership. Dr. Perkle.
All right, good evening. St. Mary Parish Public Schools and Louisiana State University's Gear Up grant program represents a powerful commitment of partnership to student success and opportunity. By working together, we are equipping our students with the academic support, the college and career guidance, and confidence that they need to thrive beyond high school. Gear Up is not just a program for our current 6th and 7th graders cohorts. It's an investment in our district's future, ensuring that every student has access to the resources and encouragement necessary to reach their full potential. At this time, we are honored to welcome LSU Gear Up representative, Ms. Stephanie Givens, who will share more about this impactful partnership and the opportunities it has already brought and will continue to bring to our students and families of St. Mary Parish. Ms. Stephanie.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Dr. Perkle. So to the St. Mary Parish School Board, to district leaders, and to our community guests and members, I'm honored to have the opportunity to formally recognize the St. Mary Parish School District and Gear Up Partnership today. In our first year, we have been able to provide STEM and career workshops to nearly half of all of our 6th and 7th graders here in the district, which is exciting. Just merely being able to do that during their lunch breaks. We've also been able to provide a LEAP test prep and STEM camp during their spring break, which we had 22 very invested students, and we had almost 24 teachers participate that and observe LEAP instruction for professional development. So a really wonderful time to spend together. We're going to continue our lunch workshops and promote our summer opportunities. We're going to have 4 weeks of camps. Again, everything is completely free to our students. We're going to have urban ecology offered to them and NASA Astro Camp. And then we're going to have 2 weeks at the very end of summer that we're going to call Gear Up, Level Up. And it's going to make sure that we didn't forget everything that we learned last year in English and math. And so brush off those cobwebs and then make sure that we're ready for next year. So those are some things. And then right now we're also coordinating some efforts. We also invest in our teachers to see what professional development opportunities we can bring to them to make sure that we are leaving that success behind for cohorts for many years to come. So thank you for everyone who has and will be an integral part of this journey. So I'd like to present to you, in recognition of your outstanding commitment and to college access and student success, our honored partner since 2025 and hopefully for many more years to come, our LSU Gear Up plaque.
All right. Next, recognition of Principal Alexis Rack, B. Edward Boudreaux Middle School for induction into the 2026 Louisiana High School Sports Hall of Fame.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Sanders, my colleagues, guests, and with us today, the ones online and in the building today. This evening, I have the honor and the privilege to present a very, very special scholar athlete that I had the privilege to work with just a small piece of her career at Franklin High School. And I'm going to take you through the journey through my eyesight of what we have to give Miss Rack a well-due presentation of her greatest basketball, but just not that. She's a scholar too on that. So I'd like to thank first administration, Mr. Ricky Ormland, who gave me and Miss Washington the honor and the privilege to work with Miss Rack, as he said back in 2001. He said, I need y'all to establish and maintain a basketball culture for our girls basketball team. And I was young and fresh, and Miss Washington was also to say, yes, sir. And he said, we got a group of girls I need you to go look at and visit at Franklin Junior High School. I think they're going to be really, really special on that. So I'd like to thank him for giving us the opportunity to do that. I'd like to thank the parents of Miss Rack, Mr. Rack, for giving us the opportunity to coach and put things in place, guidelines, and building that culture without any feedback, anything, just watching and learning. So I'd like to thank you all for that time we spent together on that one. Also, lastly, the teammates, because basketball is a team sport, and all the teammates is poured into that. No individual can do it on his own on that. So I'd like to thank all the teammates, players, present, the ones we have, all of our coaches, because they played a part in that before she came to high school, the ones after. So thank them also with that. Let's talk about the journey that we had. Back in 2001 was our first year. We was coaching at Franklin Senior High School. We finished up the season 10-19. And he said, just hold tight and build that culture of excellence and have that together. Then came, we had a freshman, or three freshman girls. We had one. And if you know basketball, you need a point guard to be able to run and have organization and have that place of being a coach on the court. And Miss Rack stepped into that role. She didn't know at the time she had the keys to the car, but she was rolling it from our freshman year on that part. The freshman year, we finished up 20-9 our freshman year. Miss Rack did an outstanding job with that. We went the district undefeated. Finished up with 20 wins. At that time, she was district MVP, all area MVP, all Acadiana, and all state honorable mention on that. And at that time, she still was a principal list and honor roll student. So remember that scholar part that we have in there. Leading up to next year, sophomore year, what we had, we finished that year with 29 wins. We finished up 29 and 9. And that was you could say a special year of things coming together because we had another set of girls that came in and helped. So we had like freshmen and sophomores on the team, and we had a group of 9 girls on that team. Miss Rack was district MVP again. That's 2 years in a row we went undefeated. District MVP, all area MVP, all area MVP, and we snuck and got into the state championship game with that. And the excitement and the joy, we had a semifinal game that one of our players hit a shot and brought us to the championship game on that one. And that experience and that turnaround, it led to some of the success. With Miss Rag was the floor leader of that. She was the game MVP of that one, district MVP, all area MVP, all of Canada MVP, state champion. That's awesome. And with all that going on, still part of the honor roll principal list and joined the National Honor Society. So remember that part of being a scholar that we have in that one. Go back to our junior year, 05 and 04, 2000. We went up to 33 wins that year, undefeated in district again. District MVP, she obtained that all area MVP, all Acadiana MVP, all state MVP first team on that one, which was awesome and outstanding. And while doing all that, still on the principals list, still on the honor roll, and still part of the National Honor Society on that one. Let's go to her senior. Then to forget, we went back to back state championship, which was awesome and outstanding on that one, and that was the height of that. Let's talk about our senior year. What we have 05, 06. We jumped up to 41 wins with that one. We're undefeated again, so that's 4 times in a row we've been undefeated in district. 4-time MVP of the district. All Acadiana MVP. All area MVP. We finished up kind of short. I wish we would have won it 44-41. Could have three-peated, should have three-peated on that. Finished up state runner up on that one. By all that, she won the ultimate in the state of Louisiana. She won the Miss Basketball Award, which was awesome and outstanding on that one. While doing all that, she was Student of the Year at Franklin High School, ranked number 4 in the class. GPA was a 3.7 GPA, still part of the National Honor Society. So as a scholar and as an athlete, Ms. Rack did outstanding things as a high school competitor. Finished up her high school stats with 2,846 points, 904 assists, 803 rebounds, and 604 steals. Her final average for all 4 years with us was 25 points, 10 assists, 6 steals, 4 rebounds per game. Outstanding and awesome from there. Then she went on to sign to go to Mississippi State University on that. Won numerous awards, all SEC, steals, record 3-pointers made, outstanding player, Hall of Fame, not a Hall, yeah, you can say Hall of Fame, was going to get to that, part of the Hall of Fame in Mississippi. First, you can say girl change to women when they get to college. Won the Geldon Award 2 years in a row for the most outstanding girls player in the state of Mississippi. While doing that, all of 4 years was a graduate from this, which was awesome. So still being that scholar, still doing part of that academic part of it. Once her playing days was over, she got drafted, went to the WNBA, played overseas, played in Poland, Turkey, and Germany. Got drafted by the San Antonio Silver Stars with the WNBA. She played there for a while, did an outstanding job, won some championships. But the biggest thing that I'm proud of and to make sure that I present her is when our playing days was over, because you always can be successful on the court when that ball or when you that football or that baseball thing is over with. Is what you do after that. And she came back and she started to teach. He came with us at Beaver Boudreaux Middle School. Me and Miss Magdalene Drexler taught science. Did a little bit of coaching, but that's when she started to learn and gave up and give about best practices. What I do, we do, you do techniques and master that. She brought that competitive edge from that court of going in and started teaching and modeling and being an impact with our kids on that part with that. She was there, a teacher in 2013. Got a career started teaching science, coaching. And after that, she left us, went to Franklin High, coached the boys basketball team. And now she's an academic leader at Beaver Boudreaux, leading the school at that and bringing that competitive edge of just not leading her teachers, but also leading her students inside the building, making an impact every single day. She come back to the community where she come from Franklin, helping out our kids in Baldwin also. So I just like to applaud and commend for the outstanding, wonderful job. When the ball stopped rolling, got to saying it's that competitive edge, and you got it in that academic part, being a leader and making an impact at our school. So I want to thank you. Awesome, outstanding, because it's been a while since we had a Miss Basketball. Then we had a Hall of Famer. She's a two-time Hall of Famer in the state of Mississippi and also in Louisiana. So thank you, Miss Rack. You had a little small part in it. Miss Alexis Rack, family, thank y'all. Y'all are support. Thank y'all also, too.
So, Mr. Lewis, what you saying is she's good at basketball?
Right now, she's one of the greats.
Y'all should have seen her coaching those boys. I remember those days.
And one other thing I forgot to mention before she gets in talk a little bit. I went to the induction ceremony. It was April 20th in Louisiana. I have the little booklet here in Baton Rouge, and this phrase that she gave, this quote is awful and it's powerful, and it just tells a whole about herself. He said, "Service to others and the rent that you pay for your room here on earth, but the real impact is measured by the hearts you inspire doing it along the way." So that's powerful and that's impactful for that, the ones that you touch on that.
I think Coach said enough. But shortly, very briefly, to Ms. Black, President Black, Dr. Sanders, Vice President Dr. Wilson, and to the board, district leadership, I want to thank y'all for the recognition. I want to thank God. Everything is possible with God first. I want to thank my family, my mother, my father, always sacrificing. My brother, I'm not gonna sit up here and cry. My brother, my nephews, are always always supporting. My nephew always challenged me one-on-one. The day where I let him beat me one-on-one, I think I'll retire, or I would do what my brother did. I just stopped playing. So my brother stopped playing me in middle school, so he could always say he beat me in one-on-one. So to my family, thank y'all for all y'all sacrifice, y'all love, y'all support. Coach mentioned my teammates, my coaches, the community. Thank y'all. Coach, like he said, he been with me. Been with me for a while. From high school to college, back to BEB, where he asked me to coach. I was done with basketball. I told Coach, I'm finished. But who am I to tell him no? He poured so much into me. So he reignited the flame with me with basketball. And he's kind of been my mentor ever since. Taught me how to teach. The discipline kind of always was there, but it kind of aligned always. So from teaching and now to leading the building that where I joined them, I always and forever be indebted to y'all and appreciate you and Ms. Drexler. To these women in red, Lord have mercy. I was kind of hesitant to send the invite, but of course, y'all know my mama gonna send it out. So my mama invited these lovely ladies in red because I said, how many times can I invite them to celebrate the same award? But I appreciate my sorors of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated so much. I love seeing this red to my two sorors on this board and my line sisters. I love what you're doing, and I love the support as well. Uh, to my BEB family, scholars of BEB and our community, we always continue to dream, and you can see that dreams do come true. Through my athletic journey, of course, the leadership lessons that I've learned, it was perseverance, discipline, discipline, perseverance that helped through these last 2 weeks of internet issues, and accountability. And I take those lessons to continue to help me lead today. So continue dreaming for my community. Thank you, not just Franklin, because when I was playing, I started in Franklin, then I went go play basketball AAU in Morgan City, then I went go play basketball in Centerville, and Coach spoke about our first state championship. What I remember the most is how St. Mary Parish came together. And that just always makes my heart so full every time I think about that first state championship. We're not going to talk about that last year, but we're going to focus on the first one. Once again, thank you, and I appreciate St. Mary Parish so much. Oh, thank you so much. I didn't know I saw.
All right. Next up is the recognition of our 2025-2026 top word millionaires in St. Mary Parish Public Schools.
Good evening. I'm Angel Ronsonay. I oversee the libraries in our district. And tonight we're going to talk about Word Millionaire. So this year marks the 22nd anniversary of the Word Millionaire program in St. Mary Parish. Since 2004, the goal of the Word Millionaire program has been to encourage reading district-wide and recognize those who have documented an extensive reading repertoire during the school year. For the 25-26 school year, St. Mary Parish has 142 Word Millionaires, 66 students, and 76 adults. This is an increase from 114 last school year, so we have gone up. Berwick High School led the parish with the most Word Millionaires. Berwick High has 24 Word Millionaires, which is 20 students and 4 adults there that earned the recognition. In total, the 142 Word Millionaires read 150,240,964 words. All the Word Millionaires received t-shirts and certificates that are distributed at their individual school ceremonies. But tonight, we're going to recognize the top elementary and the top secondary reader for our district. The top Word Millionaire in elementary is Jonathan DeBlato. He's a 5th grader. He is a 5th grader at Emmy Norman Elementary School who read 2,351,456 words. Yes. With Jonathan tonight are his mom, dad, grandmother, and sister. The librarian at Emmy Norman Elementary School is Miss Adrienne Haven. She's sitting up there. And here is what Miss Haven had to say about Jonathan. Last year, as a 4th grader, Jonathan achieved the milestone of becoming a Word Millionaire. Although he was proud of this accomplishment, he was not fully satisfied and expressed the desire to read even more as a 5th grader. Because Jonathan joined band, he only had library class once a week. Then he found out that his library day was unfortunately the same day he had to attend the Futures Project class. This left him with very little time to check out books to help him read more than 1,000,000 words. Even with these roadblocks, he worked hard to reach his goal. Some days he would check out 3 to 4 books at a time and come back the next day with 2 already read. And he was ready to take AR tests. He came back each week ready to take more and more AR tests on the books that he read, and he has now read almost 3,000 words during his 5th grade year at Emmy Norman Elementary. We are super proud of this accomplishment, and he is already striving to read more in 6th grade. He even asked to look up the state record for 6th grade so he can try and break that record. Dr. Sanders will now present Jonathan with a certificate and a $50 check. Congratulations, Jonathan. The top Word Millionaire in secondary is Miss Chloe LaMelle. Chloe is an 11th grader at Berwick High School who read 3,884,654 words. The librarian at Berwick High is Miss Kimberly Vasquez, but she wasn't able to be here tonight, unfortunately. With Chloe tonight are her parents, John and Samantha, and her 2 siblings, Bria and Liam. Chloe is involved in Top Cat, Student Council, Talented Art, Gifted, Beta, and she's a basketball manager. In her spare time, she enjoys reading, painting, and babysitting. She aspires to be a forensic psychologist. Dr. Sanders will now present Chloe with her certificate and also a $50 check. Congratulations, Chloe.
All right, moving on. Next is the approval of the amended agenda, which we do not have. After that, approval of the official school board minutes. We're going to do them in globo with our regular meeting from April 2nd, 2026, and our special session from April 30th, 2026. Dr. Wilson makes a motion, Ms. Griffin seconds. Any questions or discussion from the board, from the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, approval of the consent agenda. The items preceded with an asterisk will constitute the consent agenda, with board members being able to remove any items so desired. All remaining items will constitute the finalized consent agenda and be voted on altogether. Dr. Sanders, please read the items on the consent agenda.
Yes, ma'am. Number 1, proclamations. A, School Lunch Hero Day. B, Teacher Appreciation Week. 2, field trips. A, Morgan City High School Educators Rising National Conference in Portland, Oregon, June 19th through 24, 2026. Number 3, request permission to obtain proposals for student and athletic insurance for the year commencing August 1st, 2026. Number 4, accept proposal of financial institutions in the parish to serve as joint fiscal agents for the school board for the 2-year period commencing July 1st, 2026. Number 5, accept proposal of a newspaper to serve as the official journal for the school board for the year commencing July 1st, 2026. Number 6, approve disability insurance for the period commencing October 1st, 2026. Number 7, permission to advertise the 1.087 acre property located at 497 Highway 13, Centerville, Louisiana. Number 8, permission to advertise for a bid for custodial supplies. Number 9, permission to auction surplus inventory. And that is the consent agenda.
Thank you. Ms. Ansla makes a motion. Ms. Jones seconds it. Any questions or discussion? I do. I just want to say, because wrapped up in there is Teacher Appreciation Week, and I'm pretty sure Dr. Sanders will mention this probably later, but I just want to thank all of our educators for serving St. Mary Parish and our students. We couldn't do what we do without you guys, and we just appreciate our teachers so much. And then snuck right on in there is our National School Nurse Day was this week. And so we also want to take a moment to thank our school nurses because they are amazing. And so we are very blessed in St. Mary Parish with just some amazing teachers, some amazing nurses. So happy Teacher Appreciation Week and happy Nurses Day this week. So that was just what I wanted to add. Anything from the audience? Any other comments? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Business affairs. Adopt tax millage rates for the year 2026 and allow for public comment period. Ms. Wazan.
Good evening. Each year, we're required to set our 8 millage rates by June 1st in order to receive our property taxes, which are also known as ad valorem taxes, from the Sheriff's Department, mainly in December and January. Our property taxes make up 15% of our general fund revenue. 25-26's budgeted general fund property tax collections are $13.5 million of our $90.8 million general fund budget. Our property tax budgets in 25-26 in our maintenance districts total $7.8 million, $3 million in Maintenance District 1, $2.1 million in Maintenance District 2, and $2.7 million in Maintenance District 3. So in summary, our grand total 25-26 budgeted property tax revenue is $21.3 million. Our 8 millage rates are comprised of 2 general fund parish-wide taxes, 3 maintenance district taxes, and 2 bonds. One of our general fund taxes is a constitutional tax and never expires. The other general fund tax, along with our 3 maintenance district taxes, have expiration dates that require renewals for an additional 10 years through an election. Since our maintenance district taxes would have expired on 12/31 of 25, we had a renewal election on 12/7/24, which passed for an additional 10 years from 2026 to 2035. The millage rates we are proposing to adopt are taken directly from the 2026 maximum millage report obtained from the Legislative Auditor's website. Since we rolled forward in 2024, which was our last reassessment year, the only available options this year for our general fund and maintenance district taxes are the exact millage rates as last year, which I've updated on our resolution that's included in your board packet. During our next reassessment in 2028, we'll be given an opportunity to adjust our millage rates up or down at the board's discretion, depending on the reassessed property values. These millage rate options will be provided by the assessor's office. The other 3 property taxes we need to adopt tonight are bonds. Bonds are not subject to reassessment. The rates are set annually by the board, and changes do not require voter approval. The legislative auditor, as well as our internal auditors, require that we review our bond rates annually and adjust accordingly to assure that the value of our fund balance does not exceed the following year's principal and interest payments. After performing this required analysis, it was determined that Constitutional School District Number 1's bond will go from 8 mills to 6 mills, which will save the taxpayers $284,000 in 26-27. Special School District Number 4's bonds will go from 4 mills to 2 mills, which will save the taxpayers approximately $163,000. And Fifth Ward Special School District Number 1's bonds will go from 20 mills to 21 mills, which will cost the taxpayers an additional $72,000 in 26-27. I'd like to stress that these are renewal property taxes only and not new taxes. We're required to read the resolution adopting the 2026 millage rates aloud, word for word, which I will do now. Be it resolved that the following millages are hereby levied on the 2026 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by St. Mary Parish School Board. General Fund, number 1, Constitutional School Tax 1068051, 8.3 mills. Constitutional School District number 5, 1068061, 11.82 mills. Special funds, maintenance taxes, Consolidated School District Number 3, 1068055, District 1, 12.42 mills. Consolidated School District Number 2, 1068054, District 2, 12.73 mills. 6th Ward District 3, 1068057, District 3, 12.53 mills. Bond Retirement Funds, number 1, Consolidated School District Number 1, 1068093, 6 mills. Special School District Number 4, 1068092, 2 mills. 5th Ward Special School District Number 1, 1068106, 21 mills. Be it further resolved that the proper administration officials of the Parish of St. Mary, State of Louisiana be, and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2026, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become permanent lien and privilege on all properties subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law. Are there any public comments?
All right. Thank you, Ms. Wazan. Can I get a motion? Ms. LaSalle makes a motion to approve. Ms. Brent seconds it. Any questions or discussion from the board, from the audience? This will be a roll call vote. Dr. Sanders.
Ms. Brandt? Dr. Wilson? Mrs. Anselm?
Yes.
Ms. Jones? Mrs. Griffin?
Yes.
Ms. LaSalle,
Yes.
Mr. Guillory,
Yes.
Mr. Parity, Mr. Mancuso,
Yes.
Mrs. Dennis,
Yes.
Mrs. Black.
Yes.
The ayes have it.
Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Voisin. Number 2, approve modified summer work schedule. Dr. Sanders.
Good evening, Board. This is the meeting annually that I come before you to do our typical approval of our summer work hours. There was a slight change to the summer work hours that I'm requesting for this year. It was included in your packets. Typically, we work extended hours from Monday through Thursday to have a half a day on Fridays, which is only 6 Fridays in the summertime. This year, I'm asking that our work hours be extended Monday through Thursday, and rather than a half day, we have schools and offices closed on those 6 Fridays. We have a potential for a $13,000 utilities cost savings at the end of those Fridays.
All right. What are the wishes of the board? Ms. LaSalle makes a motion. Ms. Dennis seconds it. Any questions or comments? Ms. LaSalle.
I was hesitant to I put Dr. Sanders through the ringer to make her prove to me that there was a savings. I think I'm gonna do a spreadsheet over 7 times because I just needed to be sure that if we're going to give the employees time off and we're giving it and we're using taxpayer dollars, that we are going to have an overall savings to overcome the cost, and we are having a savings. So I gladly give the whole day off because the taxpayers are going to still come out in the good for this.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, consideration and/or action regarding proposed end-of-the-year adjustments, May 21st, 22nd, and 26th to the instructional calendar. Mr. Parity.
Okay, board members, as presented in your packets, basically we only had one emergency school day or school closure this year, and there's additional days built into our school calendar through the extended bell schedule, instructional minutes throughout the entire school year here. So due to the fact that we've only had to take one emergency school closure day, we're looking to propose to modify the end of the year schedule. Basically, this will take May 21st as the final day of school for students, with report cards being distributed at the end of the day. The Friday, May 22nd, no students or school, and it's a records day for teachers. And then on May 26th, that would be basically an online CPI training day for teachers, and Teacher Leader Summit begins that day as well. So students would finish their last day of school on May 21st. Teachers would report on May 22nd, and then there's an online training day on May 26th.
Ms. LaSalle. Oh, wait, do you want to do a motion? No. A motion and a second before? Okay, Ms. LaSalle makes that motion. Dr. Wilson seconds it. All right, Ms. LaSalle.
I just would like Dr. Sanders to elaborate on how this will not affect students eating and the bus routes.
So, Mr. Lewis and I got together and he told me that not running the buses those 2 final days would be a cost savings of $3,050. I worked with Ms. Chasson in the nutrition department to determine that because of our high absentee rate that final half day of school, and the way they do meal reimbursements compared to the waste of food on that day, it's sort of a waste no matter how you look at it. So we're not causing more waste by not having that last day of school, the half day.
Okay, Ms. Jones.
Yes. I want to know on the 26th, are the kids allowed to come to school to pick up report cards?
The report cards are going to go home with them on the 21st,
On the
Ms. Jones.
21st,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. So we don't have to run buses just to grab a report
Okay.
card and go.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other questions or comments from the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 5, discuss and take appropriate action on the superintendent selection process. You want to say something? Oh, I skipped one. Yeah, sorry. Check that one off a little too soon. All right, consideration and/or action to change school board member election dates from the current congressional cycle to the gubernatorial election cycle as authorized by Act Number 354 of the 2025 regular legislative session. Dr. Sanders.
So it was brought to my attention by someone in the Iberia school system that school boards are having this opportunity before July to make a decision whether or not they want to move school board election cycles to the gubernatorial cycle. The idea is that it's going to save taxpayer dollars and improve voter turnout for the elections for school board. It would not be for this election cycle, but the next one that we would have. And so I suppose school boards across the state are making that determination if they want to swap to the other cycle or not. It's strictly a preference.
Okay, what are the wishes of the board?
Yeah,
Oh, we'll let Evan.
I'll provide just a little bit more background. Yeah, this was a result of Act 354 of last session. We were kind of curious about it when it came out, and we're trying to figure out, what caused it. But then we later understood that this was a specific request from, I think, Iberia Parish School Board. So in any event, it's an opportunity for just boards to consider. You have the legal right to keep your elections just as they are, or you have the legal right to swap to the essentially the gubernatorial election cycle. As was mentioned, though, essentially to do this, you have to adopt a resolution that has a plan in it about how your elections will be held at the fall gubernatorial election. And you have to submit that plan to the Secretary of State's office by no later than July 1st of 2026. The key caveat, though, is once you do this, once you make this swap, you can't revoke it and go back. So once you swap to this election cycle, that's the election cycle you are on. So you do have some time as well. Obviously, July 1st, 2026, you would have at least one more regular meeting in June, just in case y'all aren't ready to decide this tonight. You do have a little bit more time. But essentially, that's what it is. So it would not change, regardless of what you do. It would not change anything for the elections to be held next year. This year. The elections this year would go as currently planned. Normally, when an election would happen, this year, of course, it would be for a 4-year term. However, of course, if you're swapping to the gubernatorial election cycle, that would not be held until 2031. So essentially, what it would do is for whoever's elected in the 2026 elections, instead of serving a 4-year term, it would actually be a 5-year term in that situation to get that term to the same time as the gubernatorial elections. After that, terms would revert back to 4 years each. So again, you can move on it tonight, or if you think you need some more time to study it and examine it, you have a little bit more time to do that. Not much time, but you do have some more time.
Want to discuss it? Okay, so Dr. Wilson makes a motion to table it until the June meeting. Do I have it? Mr. Guillory seconds that. Any discussion or questions about it? Ms. LaSalle? We have the motion to table it, so you can discuss it. You can discuss yeah.
I spoke with Mr. Wazan a couple of months ago when it was first brought up, and the amount of money that we would save would be $1,000 and something. Period. And to increase the voter turnout, you're going to vote one way or the other. The voter's going to come out if they want to or not. So the only advantage I see is having a 5-year term, which I won't be privy to, I won't have it, so, um, but after that, I mean, what else, I just don't see the point.
Okay, Miss Anslem.
Um, I was looking at it and I don't personally want to vote myself a 5-year term. Secondly, in St. Mary Parish, I do believe that would put our election at the same time as parish council's election. With only $1,000 savings, my personal opinion is one parish election, I think, is enough at a time for our parish, for everybody to kind of digest things. But that's just my personal opinion. I kind of like the schedule that we're on. I kind of like the two parish elections being separate. Sometimes they're absolutely wonderful, but unfortunately, sometimes in politics, things get a little bit exhausting during that time period. Um, so, for the morale and of the parish, I kind of like keeping them separate, but we'll table it and see how our constituents feel, talk it out. And thank you for finding out that what the savings was going to be, because that was going to be my next question. Miss LaSalle, is what was the taxpayer savings going to be? And I do believe that the amount will switch according to how many people are in an election that year. So, example for us right now, with the elections coming up, there are more people having other elections locally that would probably take away from our cost. Is that correct? Yeah, it's usually a shared cost. So even the savings, yeah, even the savings would fluctuate to usually be a little bit less depending on how many people are in that election for both cycles. So just a little bit of information.
Now, and just to note, like, you really wouldn't be voting for it for yourself because we would vote before we would qualify to run. So, technically you could be, but technically you could not be.
The possibility, I
So,
just don't like
yep,
the look.
I'm like I said, I don't really know too much about it. Give us a month to kind of talk to the community and just see a little bit more about it and stuff. So, anyway, any comments from the audience? Okay. Any other comments from the board? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We will table that until June. Thank you. All right, number 5. Now discuss and take appropriate action on the superintendent selection process.
This agenda item was really just a placeholder in the event we had some pre housekeeping matters for the superintendent selection process. We don't at this time. So as you see, the very next item is agenda item 6, which is the discussion of character, professional competence, or mental or physical health of the applicants for superintendent. By law, this is one of the matters that qualify for an executive session under Louisiana Revised Statute 4217A1. Essentially, this is the same process that we did follow last time. If you remember, on that second meeting, we did start off with an executive session, and the board then had to come out and make a decision in terms of what the next steps would be. Which, as you can see from agenda item 7, that next step is essentially, do you continue on with the interviews in some form or fashion, or does the board proceed tonight to hire a superintendent? But that would be, of course, for agenda item 7. So essentially, there's nothing on agenda item 5, and Madam President, we can go to number 6.
All right, thank you. Number 6, discussion of character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of applicants for superintendent pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 4217A1. This item may be discussed in executive session. What are the wishes of the board? Ms. LaSalle.
I make a motion that we go into executive session.
Okay, Ms. LaSalle makes a motion to go into executive session. Ms. Brent seconds it. Any discussion or questions? Any discussions or questions from the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We are actually going to leave and go into the conference room for executive session. So
People to make to go out.
And good evening, I'm Brady Burrell. Of course, as you have heard, the St. Mary Parish School Board is now going into executive session to discuss the superintendent selection process Once the board comes out of executive session, we will resume our live stream. So for now, we're going to, uh, the live stream will continue as is. It will say executive session in progress, and then the live stream will resume once they come out of executive session. I'm Brady Burrell for KQKI News.
A motion to go back into regular session. Ms. Brent makes that motion. Mr. Mancuso seconds it. Any discussions from the board? Any discussions from the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We're back in regular session. Number 7, selection of superintendent, or in the alternative, discussion and/or action concerning next steps in the superintendent selection process.
All right, board members, you're now at a fork in the road where essentially the next major decision that you will have to make, or, what are your next steps in the superintendent search process? You kind of have two options in terms of this fork in the road. The first option is to go into a second round of interviews, potentially limiting the candidate pool, going into a second round of interviews, or interviewing all candidates a second time. The other fork in the road is to immediately proceed with the hiring of a superintendent. Once you make a decision on kind of which path you want to go down tonight, depending on what that path may be, then there's going to be other steps and other votes that the board will have to vote as well, and we'll discuss those depending on what happens next.
All right, what are the wishes of the board? Ms. Dennis.
I make a motion that we vote on superintendent tonight.
All right, I have a motion to vote tonight. Mr. Mancuso seconds it. Any discussion or questions from the board, from the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, board members, you have elected to proceed with the hiring of the superintendent tonight. The first thing that we want to do is essentially before any voting actually gets started is we want you to set the parameters and the procedures about how this will happen. And of course, we'll provide you some recommendations for that. Just so everybody is aware, and this board knows this because it's been through this before, I guess this is more for people in the audience. Under Louisiana Revised Statute 17:54B, for a school board to elect a superintendent, it's done by a majority vote of the entire membership of the school board. You are an 11-member school board, which means a candidate must receive 6 votes in order to be elected superintendent. And that's important to note because essentially when you're dealing with more than one candidate, it's possible that even though somebody may get a majority, it still may not meet the threshold under state law to be elected superintendent. So we just want to make sure everybody's understanding that it will take 6 votes for a candidate to become superintendent. Because you have 3 candidates, we're going to ask you to set a procedure in the event one candidate does not receive 6 votes on the first round of voting. Now, in this situation, unlike last time where you had 5 candidates, we're only dealing with 3 candidates tonight. So what our recommendation would be in the event on round 1 that one candidate does not get 6 votes, that you eliminate the candidate that receives the less amount of votes, and then that candidate would be eliminated for round 2 if round 2 is then necessary. As we discussed, essentially there's only one, I think, mathematical outcome that could result in a situation where that may not be workable, and we'd have to go to round 2 with all 3 candidates again. But I just want to make you aware of that possibility. Now, in terms of the voting, Ms. Elodie has prepared ballots. Each board member will be distributed a ballot, and the ballots will have which round of voting we're on. The ballot will have a place for you to print your name and for you to sign your name. All 3 candidates' names are on the ballot, so you will put an X, I believe. Was it an X, Ms. Elodie? You will put an X by the name of the candidate to whom you're voting for. We would recommend then you fold up your ballots and then you pass them on up to me. I will open each ballot and read the name of the board member and the individual who they are voting for out loud. I will then ask each board member to confirm that that is their vote. And by having you confirm on the record that is your vote, that satisfies the viva voce requirements of the Louisiana Open Meetings Law. Essentially, then the board president, as I am calling out the votes, the board president and the board secretary will be tallying the votes. At the end, after all votes are tallied, the board president and the secretary will confirm that their numbers match, and then the board president will read the numbers. In the event somebody receives 6 votes on round 1, that person will be essentially your superintendent-elect. In the event that a candidate does not receive 6 votes on round 1, we will then proceed into a second round of voting. Regardless of how many rounds it takes, eventually you will have a superintendent-elect candidate, but that person will not become your superintendent tonight. The next step in the process we would then recommend is that the board president, the board would vote to authorize the president and the vice president to negotiate a contract, a superintendent's contract with your superintendent-elect. That contract would then be brought back to the full board for approval at a subsequent meeting. So essentially, that is the process that we would recommend the board adopt moving forward.
Is it possible that we can add one other person besides the president and the vice president to negotiate that contract?
Yes, ma'am. The board can put however many people it wants. The one thing we just want to make sure is that we don't have enough where it's either a quorum of the board or a quorum of an individual committee, because then that will bring up some different complications if that would happen. So that is our recommended procedures, and that we would recommend you adopt for purposes of the voting.
So someone would have to make a motion to accept your recommendation.
Yes, if we could get a motion to accept the recommendation.
Mr. Mancuso makes a motion to recommend that process. Mr. Guillory seconds it. Any discussion or questions from the board? Any discussions or questions from the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the next step is for the actual voting. Melody, the ballots? We have them. Okay. At this point in time, Ms. Elodie has put the ballots for round 1 in front of you. If you would select your candidate, sign your name, print your name, and pass it in. Once all votes are in, we'll begin to read them out loud. I have 11 votes in front of me. Now we'll begin to read them. The first ballot is by President Black. President Black has voted for Rachel Sanders. President Black, is that your vote?
Yes.
The next ballot is by Mr. Chad Parody. Mr. Parody has voted for Rachel Sanders. Mr. Parody, is that your vote? Yes. The next ballot is by Mr. Andrew Mancuso. Mr. Mancuso has voted for Rachel Sanders. Mr. Mancuso, is that your vote?
Yes.
The next vote is by Miss Rhonda Dennis. Miss Dennis has voted for Rachel Sanders. Miss Dennis, is that your vote?
Yes.
The next ballot is by Mr. Lawrence Guillory. Mr. Guillory has voted for Rachel Sanders. Mr. Guillory, is that your vote?
Yes.
I have a ballot that has not been signed.
Well, can we leave that one till last and do the?
We will leave that one last. The next vote ballot is by Miss Ginger Griffin. Miss Griffin has voted for Rachel Sanders. Miss Griffin, is that your vote?
Yes.
The next ballot is by Miss Gwenzy Brent. Miss Brent has voted for Jay Ina. Miss Brent, is that your vote?
Yes.
The next ballot is by Miss Lindsay Anselm. Miss Anselm has voted for Rachel Sanders. Miss Anselm, is that your vote?
Yes.
The next ballot is by Miss Deborah Jones. Miss Jones has voted for Jay Ina. Miss Jones, is that your vote?
Yes.
The next ballot is by Miss Tammy Wilson. Miss Wilson has voted for Jay Ina. Miss Wilson, is that your vote?
Yes.
And I presume, Miss LaSalle, the last ballot must be yours. Miss LaSalle has voted for Rachel Sanders. Miss LaSalle, was that your vote? Now I'll ask you to sign and print your ballot. At this point in time, I'll ask the board president and board secretary to confirm their numbers. Are the numbers in agreement?
Yes.
Okay, we'll read that.
Yes, the numbers are in agreement. Okay.
Read the final tally, please.
So the final tally is for Jay Ina, 3 votes. For James Russell III, 0 votes. For Dr. Rachel Sanders, 8 votes. Congratulations, Dr. Sanders has now been hired as our next superintendent of St. Mary Parish Schools.
All right, board members, the next item is to authorize the negotiation of a contract with Dr. Sanders. That would be a tentative contract that would have to be brought back to the full board for approval. Historically, it's the board president and vice president. Ms. LaSalle has asked a question, and we have already answered that in the affirmative, that the board has leeway and flexibility in terms of how this is done. Again, the one issue, we just want to make sure that whatever the negotiating team is, that it doesn't constitute a quorum of any committee or board.
All right, what is the wishes of the board? Mr. Parity. Okay, Mr. Parity makes a motion for president and vice president. Mr. Mancuso seconds it. Any discussion or comments from the board? Any from the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's it for you. All right. Dr. Sanders, we need you back. All right, next up are our committee reports. District 1 Maintenance Committee, Ms. Brent. Absolutely. Mr. Parity, would you like to go next? We'll do District 2 Maintenance Committee meeting, Mr. Chad Parity.
So the District 2 committee members met to consider the principal special projects for the fiscal year 2026 and 2027, as presented by Mr. William Regard, the Director of Maintenance. These projects were reviewed on a school-by-school basis with their respective school principals in attendance and available for comment. The projects were approved and are now being recommended to the full board for approval of $270,000, $270,341 in total, with $161,141 being spent on maintenance and $109,200 being spent on capital. These projects will be presented this summer as part of the St. Mary Parish School Board Consolidated Maintenance District 2 budget. I request that the board accept these, the values that the District 2 committee came and make that in the form of a motion.
Mr. Parity has a motion.
I'll second.
Ms. Griffin seconds it. Any discussion or comments from the board? From the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Ms. Brent, you ready? Or you want me to go back to you?
I'm ready.
Okay. District 1 Maintenance Committee, Ms. Brent.
Okay, the District 1 committee members met to consider the principal's special projects for the fiscal year 2026-27 as presented by Mr. William Regard, who is the Director of Maintenance Supervisor. These projects were reviewed on a school-by-school basis with the respective school principals in attendance and available for comments. The projects, which were amended in some instances, were approved and are now being recommended to the full board for approval of $7,445, $345,000 of 745 of maintenance, and 373,700 of capital. These approved projects will be presented this summer as part of the St. Mary Parish School Board's consolidated maintenance District 1 budget. And at that time, the full board will be presented recommendations for transfers into either the maintenance district or into the capital projects fund for the fiscal year of 26-27.
Is that in the form of a motion, Ms. Brent?
Yes.
All right, and Dr. Wilson seconds it. Any discussion or questions from the board? From the audience? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. District 3 Maintenance Committee, Mr. Mancuso.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. The District 3 Maintenance Committee members met on April 29th to consider the special projects requested by school principals for fiscal year 2026-2027, as presented by Mr. William Regard. The projects were reviewed on a school-by-school basis with the respective principals in attendance and available for comment. Projects which were amended in some instances comprised of $828,985 of maintenance and $1,220,600 of capital investment, for a total of $2,049,585. The projects were approved and are now being recommended to the full board for approval. The approved projects will be presented to this summer as part of the Maintenance District 3 budget. At that time, the board will be presented recommendations for transfers into the maintenance or capital projects funds of Maintenance District 3 for the fiscal year 2026-2027. I'd like to put that in the form of motion at this time.
All right, Mr. Mancuso makes a motion. Ms. Dennis seconds it. Any questions or discussions from the board, from the audience? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, under staff reports, Chief Financial Officer's report, Ms. Voisin.
We're 9 months into the fiscal year, and our year-to-date sales tax collections from July to March are $969,000 favorable. We collected $2.027 million in March of 2026 compared to a budget of $2.339 million, so are unfavorable by $312,000 in the month of March, but are still anticipating meeting our $28.1 million 25-26 sales tax budget, which represents 31% of our general fund 25-26 budgeted revenue of $90.8 million. The financial statement actuals through April 2026 are in your board packet. And since I have no other significant items, this concludes my reports. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Now up is Dr. Sanders' superintendent's report.
Over the last couple of weeks, the instructional team and I made our way across the district to our high schools, honoring our ACT and WorkKeys Hall of Famers. I would like to say congratulations to those students and to thank these students for their hard work and commitment to excellence. As another spring sports season comes to a close, I want to congratulate all St. Mary teams on another round of successful seasons. The state track meet began today, and I would like to say good luck to all of our St. Mary Parish track state qualifiers. Mark your calendars for these upcoming milestones. Tomorrow, May the 8th, is our seniors' last day of school. We wish them good luck and Godspeed, and we will see you all at your graduation ceremonies coming up on May 14th and 15th. On May 15th is our 8th graders' last day of school, and on May 18th, we will have our 8th grade graduation promotions. And with our new changes, the students' last day of school for this school year will be May the 21st, with a full last day of school going home with their report cards. We will get all of that information out in a JText to our families tomorrow. This past Friday, May the 1st, was National Principals Day. St. Mary Parish principals, we love you, we appreciate you, we need you, we really need you, and we thank you. And this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. Teachers, you do God's work. Make no mistake about the divinity in your calling. I'm so sorry that during your week we encountered the toughest testing season ever. But as teachers always do, you made it work. I hope you were showered with plenty of snacks and kind surprises all week, because you deserve all the love. And that's the superintendent's report.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sanders, our new superintendent of St. Mary Parish Schools. Next, we'll have our resolution of respect. Miss Estate, wait, let's get a motion to adjourn. Following Miss Jones makes a motion to adjourn. Was that a motion dance, Miss Anselm? Miss Anselm makes a second. All those in favor of adjourning after the resolution, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
In memoriam of Patricia LeBlanc, a retired school secretary, Leslie Narcy, a retired cafeteria technician, and Gaynell Topham, a retired social studies teacher, whereas Almighty God, in his infinite wisdom, has taken from our midst, and whereas their untimely death has deprived the St. Mary Parish school system of these beloved colleagues. Now therefore be it resolved that the St. Mary Parish School Board and the people attending this meeting bow our heads in silent prayer out of respect and extend to their bereaved families our sincere condolences and express the high regard in which we held each of them in life and honor their memory in death. Let us adjourn this meeting out of respect for Patricia LeBlanc, Leslie Narcy, and Gaynell Topham. Amen.